In the early decades of the 19th century, America was a land of opportunity and promise, but it was also a land rife with conflict, especially for those who dared to deviate from the mainstream. Among the many groups of settlers who sought refuge and a new life in this vast, burgeoning nation were the Mormons, formerly known as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Their story is one of profound faith, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of a place where they could practice their beliefs without fear of persecution. The roots of the Mormon faith can be traced back to the early 1820s, when a young man named Joseph Smith, living in upstate New York, experienced a series of divine visions. In these visions, he claimed to have been visited by God and Jesus Christ, who instructed him to restore the true church, which they said had been lost to the world after the death of the apostles. Smith also reported being guided to a set of golden plates, which he translated into what is now known as the Book of Mormon. This text, published in 1830, became the foundational scripture of the Latter-day Saints, alongside the Bible. It narrates the history of ancient American civilizations and their interactions with Jesus Christ, who, according to the book, visited the Americas after his resurrection. The publication of the Book of Mormon marked the official beginning of the church, and with it, a community began to form around Smith and his teachings. However, the religious beliefs and practices of the Mormons, including their views on revelation, the nature of God, and the importance of communal living, set them apart from mainstream Christianity. This divergence quickly attracted hostility. The Mormons faced intense persecution in New York, where they were often ostracized, attacked, and driven from their homes. The situation worsened as they moved to Ohio, where they established their first community, Kirtland, only to face financial difficulties and further hostility from local residents. As tensions escalated, the Mormons relocated to Missouri, where they hoped to find a more welcoming environment. However, they encountered violence and mob actions, culminating in the 1838 Mormon War, which led to the expulsion of Mormons from the state under the infamous extermination order issued by Governor Lilburn Boggs. This order declared that Mormons were to be treated as enemies, a stark reminder of the religious intolerance that plagued the nation at that time. The Mormons were forced to flee once again, this time to Illinois, where they established the city of Nauvoo, which became the largest city in the state by the time of its founding. Nauvoo flourished under Mormon leadership, but the peace was short-lived. Joseph Smith's growing influence and the church's unique practices, including the introduction of plural marriage, led to increased suspicion and hostility from non-Mormon neighbors. In 1844, Smith was murdered by a mob in Carthage, Illinois, which sent shockwaves through the community and left the Mormons without their prophet and leader. Following his death, Brigham Young emerged as the new leader of the church, and he recognized that for the Mormons to thrive, they needed to find a place where they could be free from persecution. The answer lay to the west, in the uncharted territories of the American frontier. In 1846, under Young's leadership, thousands of Mormons began their exodus from Illinois, embarking on a treacherous journey across the plains. They faced numerous hardships, including harsh weather, scarce resources, and the ever-present threat of conflict with indigenous tribes and other settlers. Yet their faith and determination propelled them forward, driven by the belief that they were on a divine mission to establish a new Zion. After months of arduous travel, the Mormons finally arrived in the Salt Lake Valley in July 1847. At that time, the valley was largely uninhabited and presented a blank canvas upon which they could build their new society. Young declared it the Promised Land, and the settlers set to work creating a thriving community. They constructed homes, established farms, and developed irrigation systems to make the arid land productive. The principles of cooperation and communal effort were central to their endeavors, and they worked tirelessly to create a society that reflected their values and beliefs. Salt Lake City emerged as the heart of Mormon settlement, designed with a grid system that reflected their aspirations for order and harmony. The city became a hub of religious and cultural life, with temples and meeting houses at its center. The Mormons established a unique social structure, emphasizing family, community, and a strong commitment to their faith. They practiced a form of self-governance, which allowed them to maintain a degree of autonomy in a nation that often viewed them with suspicion. Despite their efforts to build a peaceful society, the Mormons continued to face challenges. As the United States expanded westward, tensions with the federal government grew, particularly over issues such as polygamy and land rights. The Mormons' way of life, which was so deeply intertwined with their religious beliefs, was often at odds with the prevailing norms of American society. Yet, through it all, they remained steadfast in their commitment to their faith and their community. The story of the Mormons is one of perseverance in the face of adversity, a testament to the human spirit's capacity for resilience. From their humble beginnings in New York to their establishment in the Salt Lake Valley, they carved out a place for themselves in a nation that often rejected them. Their journey reflects broader themes of migration, religious freedom, and the quest for a promised land, echoing the experiences of many other groups in American history. Today, the legacy of the Mormons is evident not only in the vibrant communities they built, but also in the ongoing dialogue about faith, tolerance, and the diverse tapestry of beliefs that shape the American experience.